HOA Karen is building houses on my property. Before we tell you a new story, share and like this video. This is very important to us. Thank you. After a long legal process, I finally came into my inheritance and decided to inspect the inherited property. When I pulled up, I froze in shock. Instead of empty land that should have belonged to me, there were already foundations of new houses rising. Construction equipment was roaring, workers were bustling about, and in all this chaos, Karen was standing, giving instructions, and headed straight for her. "What's going on here?" My voice was heard over the roar of the engines. Karen didn't even flinch. She turned to me with a smug smile.
"Oh, you finally showed up. Too late. Construction is already underway."
"Too late? This is my property."
"Well, it was yours. While you were fiddling with your paperwork, we decided that the empty land should be put to good use."
I clenched my fists. "Who is us?"
The HOA. We decided to expand the residential area.
"What the hell? Do you even realize this is illegal?" She snorted.
It's legal. We're acting in the best interests of the neighborhood.
"Without the owner's permission? Do you even realize this is fraud?" Karen shrugged.
You can file a complaint, but the work is already underway, and people have already made advance payments on their future homes. I don't think the court will support you.
I looked at the workers. Some of them looked away nervously, but most continued their work as if nothing had happened. "Stop the construction, right now!"
Don't be so selfish.
Karen crossed her arms over her chest.
The neighborhood needs development.
"You left me no choice. I'm going to court." Karen rolled her eyes.
Oh my God, another lawsuit. Look, I've been in the HOA for 20 years. I've won cases like this dozens of times. You have nothing to count on.
But I wasn't going to back down. That same day, I met with a lawyer and filed a lawsuit. We started collecting documents. For a month, we collected evidence against Karen, and now we are in court. My lawyer and I were sitting in the courtroom. I was confident in my rights. Karen, confident in her impunity, sat opposite me, casting condescending glances at me.
Your Honor,
Said my lawyer, standing up.
the plaintiff is the legal owner of the site. Neither the HOA nor Mrs. Karen personally had the right to dispose of this land.
The judge turned to Karen.
Defendant, how do you explain the illegal construction?
The site was empty. We decided that it would be more useful if new houses appeared on it. This is in the interests of the area.
My lawyer smiled coldly.
You are disposing of private property that does not belong to you. Moreover, you entered into contracts and received advance payments for houses that you had no right to build.
The judge frowned.
Is that true, defendant? Did you receive the money?
Karen hesitated, but then pressed her lips together.
Well, to some extent.
To the fullest extent,
My lawyer laid the documents on the table.
here are the confirmations of the transfers.
Karen's face fell.
These are just contributions.
The judge raised his hand, interrupting her.
The court rules in favor of the plaintiff. All construction work must be stopped immediately. The defendant is obliged to compensate for the damage caused and demolish the illegally erected structures at her own expense.
Karen jumped to her feet,
This is unfair. I just wanted to make the area better.
but the judge was no longer listening. I left the courtroom victorious. A few weeks later, my lot was empty again.